Seen you post disrespecting me, idiot Wilson. All of y'all, for some reason, when y'all are around certain people, y'all feel that y'all have this power. Why? When y'all have an affiliation to Jay-Z in some sort of way, y'all be thinking that y'all can disrespect and violate.
Nicki clearly didn't get the memo on how the Carters move, because baby, Beyonce might be quiet, but she's never powerless. After months of Nicki taking unprovoked shots at both Bey and Jay-Z, it looks like Queen Bee has finally had enough. Word on the street is, Beyonce's now pulling major industry strings to make sure Nicki's so-called next album crashes harder than her last meltdown. Whatever she thought she was about to drop next year, it's about to be the worst performing project of her entire career. Mark my words. And just when you think Nicki couldn't embarrass herself more, she goes and crosses the line again. This time, she had the audacity, the nerve, to speak on Beyonce's kids. Nobody knows what's been going on with Nicki lately, but the internet is convinced she's been on something strong because Granny has been acting completely out of pocket online. One minute, she's calling Cardi's kids ugly monkeys, and the next, she's talking crazy about Bey's babies too. Like, how low can you go? Mind you, this is the same woman who once said, "I'll never speak on nobody's kids," her own words. But now she's backpedaling, showing her true clown colors with every tweet and live stream. And get this, she's allegedly calling Beyonce's kids autistic, while folks online are clapping back saying her own son is slow and spends his time banging spoons on tables. It's getting nasty. This isn't new behavior either. Nicki has been attacking Beyonce and Jay-Z for years. In her mind, they're the reason for everything wrong in her life. She's been obsessed with blaming them for her own downfall, and it's getting tired. Remember last year? She was beefing with Megan Thee Stallion and somehow dragged Jay-Z into it, talking about Desiree fired people for no reason, and they're trying to replace me. Like, girl, nobody's trying to be you. The delusion is wild. And then she tried to make herself the victim again, crying that Beyonce's camp is blackballing her and that Jay-Z is out to get her. She even dragged respected hip-hop journalist Elliott Wilson after he criticized her live appearance with Kai Cenat. Elliott simply said what everyone was thinking, that Nicki's been spiraling, and she lost it. She jumped online and said, "Elliott, if you'd spit Jay-Z's D out for 1 second, you'd be able to be happy for the newcomers. Woo, the projection is insane." Then she went off saying, "Isn't that how y'all tried to tarnish my image by saying I'm not welcoming new girls in? Did songs with all of them, though? Why you not happy for a young black man like Kai? Like, what does Kai Cenat even have to do with Jay-Z?" The girl is reaching outer space levels of delusion at this point. But the drama doesn't stop there. Nicki went as far as accusing Jay-Z of getting her arrested last year. Yes, arrested. Just to sabotage her tour. She swore the whole thing was a setup. If you remember, during the European leg of her Pink Friday 2 tour, Nicki got detained in Amsterdam after someone allegedly tipped off police that she was transporting illegal substances from the US to Europe. She hopped online mid-drama, claiming, "They've been trying to stop me from coming to every show. They took my bags before I could see them, put it on the plane, now saying they're waiting on customs." This is what it looks like when people are paid big money to try to sabotage a tour after all else failed. Everything they've done is illegal. Girl, Beyonce's over here minding her empire, and Nicki's still fighting ghosts. Every time her career takes a hit, she blames the Carters instead of looking in the mirror. The way she's spiraling online, from dragging kids to accusing Jay-Z of international conspiracies, is proof she's in a league of her own, and not in a good way. "They're being paid big money to sabotage my tour because too many people are mad that it's this successful, and they can't eat off me." That's what Nicki screamed during one of her rants, claiming jealous haters were trying to ruin her comeback. According to her, the same people who got fired for allegedly stealing money from her private jet expenses are now trying to get revenge. She said, "They got caught stealing money from my travel jets, got fired, got mad. This is how they plant things in your luggage." The drama just keeps getting deeper, but it didn't stop there. The gossip mill went crazy when popular YouTuber Storm Monroe, known for getting insider info straight from Hollywood circles, dropped a bombshell. He claimed that Jay-Z himself was behind the entire Amsterdam setup. According to Storm, there's allegedly a mole in Nicki's camp, secretly working for Roc Nation, feeding Jay's team every single detail about Nicki's travel plans. Storm said that's exactly how Dutch police knew something was supposedly in Nicki's luggage before she even arrived. He claimed the entire arrest was an orchestrated trap designed to label her as a cokehead and destroy her tour with bad press. The story went viral, and while fans were debating whether to believe it, Nicki doubled down, saying she had proof that Jay-Z had been trying to ruin her for years. And then she flipped the script, accusing Jay of something way bigger. Nicki suddenly claimed that Jay-Z scammed her out of nearly $200 million. According to her, back in 2015, Jay pulled her, Rihanna, Alicia Keys, and a whole squad of A-listers into his Tidal streaming deal, only to go behind everyone's backs and sell the company for a massive $300 million payout. Now, since Nicki supposedly owned a 3% stake in Tidal, she said she should have received around $8.9 million from the sale. But according to her, she didn't see a single dollar. Her lawyers allegedly reached out to Jay demanding her cut, but she said Jay only offered her $1 million and wanted her to sign an NDA in exchange. Nicki refused, claiming it was another shady power move to silence her. Neither Beyoncé nor Jay-Z publicly responded, but that's when things got spicy, because Beyoncé's mama and sister decided to step in. Tina Knowles, clearly fed up with Nicki's constant attacks, posted a photo with Beyoncé and captioned it, "Good morning. It feels good to wake up knowing my faves didn't lose their minds like some people. Y'all have a great day. Remember to ignore the ignorance. Woo! Miss Tina came swinging. Of course, the Barbs went wild." They flooded her comments, dragging her so hard that Miss Tina eventually edited the caption and tried to clean it up. She wrote, "Wow, I reposted this because it was about our relationship. It had nothing to do with anyone other than me and Beyoncé. Please stop being messy and dragging me into something I don't have anything to do with. You guys should be ashamed." But at that point, the damage was already done, and then Solange jumped in, silently but powerfully. She posted a carousel of eerie spiritual photos featuring altar candles, statues, and what looked like mystical symbols. Fans immediately went into detective mode, claiming Solange was sending Nicki a warning, like a spiritual back off before I curse you type of message. Whether it was true or not, the internet ate it up. By now, the feud had gone from petty tweets to straight up spooky energy. And just when everyone thought things couldn't get any darker, Nicki turned her attention back to Jay-Z, this time accusing him of trying to silence his alleged estranged son, Rymir. The whole situation was spiraling out of control. What started as a petty industry beef had become a full-on war between Nicki and the entire Carter family. From drug allegations to secret moles and $200 million lawsuits, it was chaos on every level. Now here's where the story takes a wild left turn. Nicki suddenly started blasting Jay-Z again, this time dragging up his alleged secret son, Rymir Satterthwaite. She went on a long rant accusing Jay of doing everything in his power to silence Rymir and erase him from the public eye. According to Nicki, Jay's been using his money, lawyers, and influence to bury that whole paternity scandal for years. She said he'll buy off judges before he ever acknowledges that boy. That's the kind of man y'all worship. The internet went crazy. If you remember, this alleged son story goes way back. Rymir's mother, Wanda, claimed she had a relationship with Jay in the early 90s, before he became a billionaire mogul. For years, she's been trying to get a DNA test, but Jay-Z's lawyers allegedly blocked every attempt. Rymir even came forward himself in interviews, saying all he ever wanted was the truth, not the money. But now Nicki's dragging it all back up again, acting like she's the spokesperson for every person Jay's ever wronged. She said Jay-Z's obsession with control is why so many people in the industry either kiss his ring or disappear overnight. And she hinted that his so-called family man image is a cover-up for the dark stuff that goes on behind closed doors. Fans started flooding social media with old clips of Jay avoiding questions about his personal life, and suddenly, the whole secret son rumor was trending again. But Nicki wasn't done. She started connecting dots that no one asked her to connect. She claimed that Roc Nation doesn't just manage artists, they own them. She said Jay uses contracts, favors, and NDAs to control careers. That's why you rarely see anyone publicly going against him. She even said Beyoncé plays her role perfectly because she knows better than to cross him. It was bold, it was messy, and it had social media on fire. Beyoncé fans were furious. The Bayhive started dragging Nicki all over X and Instagram, calling her bitter and washed up. But Nicki fed off the chaos, posting cryptic messages like, "You can't silence the truth forever," and "God don't play about me." Every post added more gas to the fire. Around this time, insiders began leaking whispers that Nicki might be getting investigated herself for slander and harassment. Apparently, some of the claims she made about Jay and Beyoncé's family had gotten the attention of legal teams. Yet instead of backing down, she doubled down, going on live again, ranting that she was being targeted by powerful people, trying to destroy her spirit. She said, "They can't take my crown, so they trying to break me mentally." Then, in a shocking twist, fans discovered that Nicki had quietly unfollowed several people in her own circle, including some Rock Nation-affiliated producers. That move made everyone think she really believes she's being spied on. People online started saying, "Nicki's lost it," while others said, "No, she's telling the truth, but they making her look crazy." The conspiracy crowd was thriving. Meanwhile, Beyoncé remained silent, the queen of calm amid chaos. But Miss Tina and Solange, they weren't having it. Miss Tina reportedly posted a story that said, "When people lie on you, let God handle them." And Solange, once again, dropped some cryptic art posts with captions like, "The universe always balances the scales." Fans took that as another warning shot at Nicki to stop poking the hive before things get ugly. The entire situation had the internet split. Half the people thought Nicki was spiraling into paranoia, and the other half swore she was exposing something way bigger than herself. Either way, this was no longer just a music beef. This had turned into a full-blown Hollywood power war, with Nicki standing alone against one of the most influential families in entertainment. And trust, the next move from the Carters, it wasn't going to be quiet, it was going to be calculated. Rymir Satterthwaite is the man who's been claiming for years that Jay-Z got his mama pregnant when she was just 16, and that Jay has been ducking responsibility ever since. The story has been floating around forever, but Nicki decided to throw gasoline on the fire by reposting a viral Instagram post from none other than 50 Cent, who had shared a meme about Jay's alleged bastard son. Nicki reposted it with her own caption that said, "Jay-Z is trending because the judge has granted Rymir's request to move forward with his case, and the judge has demanded Jay-Z respond to Rymir's paternity lawsuit by July 18th. Number Jay-Z. Is this why he was trending the other day? I don't know. To God be the glory." Whoa! She knew exactly what she was doing with that post. Once she hit that repost button, the internet exploded. Within hours, Jay-Z and Rymir were trending side by side, and the Bayhive was in full panic mode. Some people were saying Nicki was just stirring the pot for attention, while others were convinced she was finally exposing Jay's skeletons. Either way, the Carters weren't letting that one slide. See, Beyoncé wasn't just mad about the Rymir drama. The real reason she's reportedly pulling strings to get Nicki blackballed goes much deeper. It wasn't just about Nicki attacking Jay-Z or dragging up his alleged secret son. It was the way she came for their children. That's what crossed the line. This all popped off while Nicki was still going back and forth with Cardi B online. Cardi made a heated post saying, "You said you gonna kick my child's gums back in. Didn't you say you was in New York this past week? Now where the F you at? 'Cause today gonna be the day I go to jail." Cardi was ready for smoke. But instead of just clapping back at Cardi, Nicki decided to drag Beyoncé and Jay's kids into it. Nicki responded with, "Camel and rat, we are not fazed by botted tweets and bots in the comments. That's precisely why you broke. Now Desiree got fillers since I said she ugly, now she uglier. Oh girl, Camel, let's talk about your kids today. That's on the docket, boy." Yes, she really said that. And that was the final straw. Beyoncé didn't even have anything to do with that argument, so to see Nicki coming for her children out of nowhere was insane. Fans were shocked. Even her own supporters were like, "Nah, this one ain't it." People online started saying, if Beyoncé ever needed a reason to teach Nicki a lesson, this is it right here. Because from what Cardi hinted, Nicki's own son allegedly isn't the brightest. So for her to be talking about anybody else's kids was pure hypocrisy. The comments were brutal. One fan wrote, "I said it once and I'll say it again. Beyoncé about to hit them pockets in a sneak attack. Better stop playing." Another said, "The Barbs might be crazy, but they not the Hive. It's about to be set off. You could feel the tension online. It was like everyone was just waiting for Beyoncé to make her move. And then came the ultimate warning shot from the fans. Nicki Minaj, whatever issue you got with Jay-Z, keep it that way. Watch your mouth about Beyoncé and her kids. She's the real queen you want to be. That one hit hard because deep down, that's exactly what people believe. That Nicki's obsession with Beyoncé comes from wanting her respect, her power, her influence. So now the big question hanging over everyone's head is, what's next? Will Beyoncé and Jay-Z finally snap back publicly, or will they handle it the Carter way? Quietly, strategically, and with power moves behind the scenes that end careers overnight? Because if there's one thing we all know about the Carters, they don't fight loud, they fight smart. And if Beyoncé really decided Nicki needs to be humbled, baby, it's already too late for apologies. Now I want to know what you think. Did Nicki cross the ultimate line by talking about Beyoncé and Jay-Z's kids? And do you think she deserves whatever professional lashing the Carters are about to serve her behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click here to check out the next messy video.